What is up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with a brand new deck profile of Burning Abyss. Now this is the deck that I ended up playing at yesterday's Brotherhood WCQ regional down in London. I ended up taking 16th place in Swiss after going 6-2. I played the game, I should probably preface, I played the day on 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep. One of my losses was to a legitimate misplay because I didn't pay attention to what exactly I was playing against. I made an incorrect play considering the deck, and I lost because of it. And then the exact next round, round 4, I ended up playing against Cosmo, and game 3 I just got Dark Hole OTK'd, and I didn't manage to draw or mill into any of my kind of floaters, like the Graph or the Seer, to give me a bit of floatability to stay alive, and I just lost. Otherwise, the deck was absolutely phenomenal. I felt like this deck was ridiculously strong. Every time I played against Draco Pals, I felt like I couldn't lose. And I loved every matchup except for Cosmo. The only things I lost to were the Burning Abyss Mirror, which was when I made the incorrect play because I made the Acid Golem, which is basically an auto-lose if you're playing the Mirror, which I shouldn't have made, but I didn't think. And then I lost to Cosmo. Cosmo being my worst matchup, everything else absolutely easy. As you can probably hear in my voice, it was a really long day. I've now been to work and come home, and I've still got a bad voice, but there you go. I'm going to soldier on and run you guys through the deck profile. This is not PK Fire or whatever they call it, the Phantom Knight Burning Abyss deck that you will see everyone playing online and playing at the ARG and things like that. This is just pure Burning Abyss with a tiny little Speedroid engine in it, but I honestly feel like this variant's better. It bricks less and floats better. Maybe floats better is a bit of an exaggeration, but it bricks a lot less, and like the synergy is just a lot better. Your hands, in my opinion, are better more often. So I feel like this deck is more consistent over a large number of rounds than Phantom Knights are. But like, it's just because I built Phantom Knights originally. I was going to play Phantom Knight Shadows for this event, and I ended up like changing it to like Phantom Knight Burning Abyss Shadows, and then Phantom Knight Burning Abyss, and then Burning Abyss, and this was the build that I ended up with, and this was what I was most happy with. So I just feel like this is the most consistent deck that I played. So to start off the list, the one tour guide. The tour guide was just she's just really, really good. I'm going to zoom the camera in a little bit so we can get a bit of a better picture. So tour guide, she's just really, really good. A lot of people are talking about wishing this card to go to 3. I kind of like it at 2 in this kind of deck. I don't like having 3 of this, and well, I don't like the idea of having like 3 of this and 3 Rhino. I feel like your hand could lead to clocking a fair bit, maybe 2, but 1 of this is just perfect. So 1 tour guide. 3 copies of Max C. I kind of just don't want to lose to anything that's going to go off, and a lot of players will slow down against this deck, especially seeing as like my back rows can be Wing Blast and things like that, and Beatrice just sets up loads of plays depending on what you've got in hand, because you can use her to summon a Libic, which can summon a guy from your hand, and like you can just do all sorts and all sorts and all sorts. So the Maxis were pretty cool. Then I played 3 copies of Terratop. Basically says if I open this card, I get to make a Dante for free without even normal summoning. So that's kind of cool, and then I get to use the Tachyton Borg as the search target. I did want to play the dice, but I just couldn't find the room for it. It was so hard to find the room for everything that you're seeing here already. So I ended up just going with this Speedroid engine. It did brick occasionally, but it was honestly much better than it was so good that it warranted the bad situations. Then we move into the last Fiends before the Burning Abyss, and that was 3 copies of Fiendish Rhino Warrior. This card is really, really good. I've not played Burning Abyss since this card came out, so I literally built this deck on Saturday night before the event. Me and my friend basically just tested in my room for about 3 hours. We arrived at this deck, and he gave me 3 of these and said, "Oh yeah, you need to play this, by the way." And I was like, "What is this card? What does it do?" This is German. I ended up looking it up online. It's obscene. The fact that while he's out on the board, you can just summon whatever you want, and it's not going to blow up. And then when he's milled from the deck, it's basically you basically mill what you want. If you mill this card, you go, "Oh, what did I want this to be?" And you just send whatever you want from your deck. So Rhino Warrior, absolutely ridiculous. Then for the Burning Abyss component, played 3 copies of Scum. Searching our options is really, really good. So 3 Scum, so good. Like, best card, I guess, other than Graph. No, this is the best card. 3 copies of Fafa. Now, Fafa being at 3 was almost unheard of, and then this card came out, Beatrice. Like, read Beatrice, then read Fafa. You'll immediately know why Fafa is ridiculous with that card. So, 3 Fafa, absolutely insane across the day. I think, honestly, if I could have played 5, I would have played 5, but that's why I played 2 Seer, because those are our other 2 Fafas if we need them to banish stuff. 2 Seer, this card, it comes into its own again because of Beatrice. I wish Seer was at 3, the deck would be absolutely broken, but it's not. So 2 is all we have, 2 is all we have to deal with. But oh, God knows I want more. Then for the one-offs, I played a lot of one-offs. I played 1 Rubik. I want to go to 2 of this, so I want to find something to cut. 1 Graph, 1 Libic. Libic was really important. Because the thing with Libic is, a lot of boards that I could end, a lot of turn 1s, I could end with like a Dante and a Beatrice. Now the upsetting thing is, and of course like you'd have another Dante under the Beatrice. Now the upsetting thing is I would often open Firelake, and I'd have a board like this, and I can't do Firelake, and I can't support having another Burning Abyss monster on the board unless it's a Dante. But the cool part was, I could usually detach the Dante off of the Beatrice, send a Seer and summon the Dante back, and my Firelake is live. Or I could send, like, a Libic, and add a card off of this Dante, and then summon the card off the Dante with the Libic if I already had enough cards in my hand to use the Libic in the first place. So, I mean, you got to have a card in hand for your Libic to trigger anyway, but it doesn't target, so you can use the card that the Dante adds back if you do the chain links correctly. So that was really, really good. Like, you can just do so many cool plays with Beatrice. So Libic's really, really important for that, because it can add you a Farfa, and then you put the Farfa on field. So it's kind of cool. I forgot entirely what I was going to say. 1 copy of Kalkab, 1 copy of Kagna. This is what would probably go for the other Rubik. This is alright, but it could be better. Alich, this was really, really good with Beatrice as well. Effect negation, can't fault it. 1 Barber, I want to go to 2, but I need to find the room for the second. And then lastly, 1 Tragic. This was really, really good. The ability to put on top of the deck whatever card you are looking for. Tragic just came into its own, but I had to use this gold rare because I could not find a super in time. So that made me sad, but oh well. Then moving into the spells, that's the complete monsters. The monster component is absolutely massive, but that's because you want good mill targets, good rank 3 targets, all that good stuff. So for the spells, we have 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Regeki, double Dark Hole. These were ridiculous. This part was ridiculous. Foolish Burial you already know is crazy good anyway, but Regeki double Dark Hole was just, oh, blow away your board, attack you for 8k. Well played. That's basically this card. I then played double Mask Change 2. I played Dark Law. I felt like Dark Law was really, really strong. Adds to your OTK potential as well. You can just attack all the way home with this. So Mask Change 2 was just phenomenal. And then double Twin Twister. I didn't feel like 3 was that necessary. I feel like 2 was perfect because occasionally it did brick even at 2, especially because you're playing the Mask Change 2. If I wasn't playing this card, I'd go to 3 of this. But because I'm playing this, 2 is perfect. And that was my 8-card spell lineup. And I then played 5 traps, and it was 27 monsters, I believe. The traps were 2 Firelake. This is going to 1. This can possibly be a Traveler or another Strike, or a Breakthrough skill. But I feel like 1 Firelake is all you need. But 2 was really good at the event. But it bricked occasionally. I only ever needed 1. I don't think it was that important to open. I thought it was going to be a lot more important than it was, because this was all theory built. This wasn't tested really at all. Except against Pepe, and it was only game 1s that we played, so that was that. And then for the traps, we played double strike, 1 warning. I don't think I ever used the warning, but the strikes came up a lot. I really wanted the third a lot of the time, even though in testing I felt like I hated it. So I'd probably go to like third strike, and that'd be my trap lineup. But honestly, I think the 5 traps was pushing it. I feel like that may have been too many anyway, but it all worked out in the end. Going 6-2 wasn't a problem. I should have been 7-1, but I misplayed really, really hard. So for the extra deck, this is the coolest part because it plays this. 2 copies of Beatrix, Lady of the Eternal. And I'm going to zoom in a wee bit more because we can now, because we're not going to have a huge heap of stuff on the board. Beatrice is an obscenely good utility card. I love her. The ability to send any Burning Abyss from your deck as a quick effect is ridiculous, simply for the merit that you play Alich, you play Kalkab, and you play Farfa. Those cards are ridiculous in your opponent's turn. So I absolutely love this. Otherwise, when it dies, it summons you Dante from the extra deck, which is basically a Cosmo Foreigner with a draw effect, and that lets you discard Burning Abysses from your hand, thus triggering their effect anyway. So Dante Pilgrim is ridiculous. So these... she is so good. Love Minerva to bits. So Minerva? Not Minerva. I keep calling her Minerva. Like, for the whole weekend I've been calling her Minerva. Beatrice, big B, big booty Beatrice, because 28, she's ridiculous. We then play 3 of the classic, 3 copies of Dante, Traveller of the Burning Abyss. This was the sole reason I wanted I wanted to go to Burning Abyss and not Phantom Knights, because originally when I was playing Phantom Knights, I had to play 3 Breaksword and 2 of this, and I found myself wanting this way more than I wanted Breaksword, so I was just like, you know what, Phantom Knights are out the window, the Dantes are getting played, let's go. We're playing 3 of this, and only 1 of this. So 3 Dante, really, really solid. Then for the one-offs, there's a fair series of them. There's the Phantom Knight of Breaksword, just a scrap dragon at the end of the day. He's really, really good at what he does, but he only came up, I think, once, so how's that? Nightmare Shark won a game because of his 2K, so he's really cool. Acid Golem, I'm honestly considering taking this out, but it did come up occasionally, like crashing into a Dark Destroyer. Downo Magician, forgot the name for a second. This came up once, but I'm not really sure how necessary it really was. So, maybe consider cutting it. So we've currently got like 2 spots that we can cut, like the Downerd and the Acid. 1 F-Zero. I need to learn to use this. I really didn't use it as optimally as I would have hoped, and I kind of almost threw a couple of games because of it, so I really need to learn the utility of this card and how easy it makes games to win. Then otherwise, sorry, I thought I had something go off in the background. I played double Virgil. Virgil is another card that can probably go to 1. I only ever made 1, but if I put in another rubric, I could definitely see myself playing 2. But for the moment, the 1 was perfect. So we're now at like 3 cuts. And then we played 2 Dark Law and 1 Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. 2 Dark Law, ridiculously good. Dante, yeah, Dante was pretty damn nice. So, moving into the side deck. I'm actually going to show you my side. I never show you guys my side. But this time, why the hell not? Like, you guys always seem to ask for it, so I'll show you the side I played. I'm not going to promise you it was great, because again, it was built the night before the event. It was built purely, again, on theory, but I still quite liked it. So it was double of this guy. Double Vanity's Fiend. I want to get the new alties, but this one's pretty nice at the moment. Double Vanity's Fiend. I only ever summoned him once, and he got warninged, but otherwise, in theory, he was phenomenal, especially in the mirror match against Cosmo. 3 copies of Ghost Ogre. This was to stop Pendulum Perform Mage and to stop the FTK decks. It's something to draw into with Maxi as well if you want it. That's why I put it in against Pepe, but I won my 2 Pepe matchups without even using it, so that was the thing. 2 Menko, this was to go in against Mermails, in case Mermails just go hard for the OTK. But I never played against any Mermails or any other like really heavy OTK decks where I felt that the Maxis were going to need to complemented. Cool thing is you can search these off of your, what are they called? I've forgotten the name of it now. The Speedroid... Good card. Speedroid Terratop. However, these were mainly in here for when I was playing Phantom Knights. I would now cut them for something else, but at the time I just didn't have enough time to change them out. These can probably be Swift Scarecrows now because you don't want to summon these. You don't want to summon these when you're playing Burning Abyss because all your BA guys are going to blow up. Unless you've got a Rhino, like, depends on your situation, but I don't feel like this is that good in this deck anymore. 2 MSTs because I main the 2 Twisters. 3 copies of System Down for the Cosmo matchup, and 3 Restrict for Monarch, which isn't that huge of a problem anyway, because we have a lot of removal, a lot of ways around it anyway, but it's just good to have a guarantee, because that deck is really, really filthy and really degenerate. But otherwise, yeah, that brings me to about the end of this one. I want to really summarize by saying I absolutely adore this deck. I think it is ridiculously good, and if the ban list ravages Pendulum Perform Mage, or ravages whatever it's called. I've actually forgotten the name of it now. If it ruins Draco Pals, this deck will be dominant. So I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm definitely going to be playing it for some more events. But otherwise, that brings me to about the end of this. We're 14 minutes in. We don't really do videos like this anymore. But this is a deck that I really had a lot of fun with, so I wanted to explain a lot of interactions. But as per always, leave me a like if you did enjoy this. Subscribe if you want to see more of the same. Comment down below with any of the feedback you have on the build, any of the advice to make this even better. And share this with your friends if they're interested in a solid Burning Abyss list. Hopefully I'll be back with a much better voice soon. But for now, I've been Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.